Good morning. Lovely morning. Please come to lying on your backs with your feet standing on the floor. And taking some time to just arrive. Feeling the support of the floor beneath you. Maybe starting feeling the weight of your head. Moving down the back to feel the weight of the back of your pelvis. And feeling the connection of your feet. And as you come to really drop through the back of your body, connecting with the earth beneath you, noticing what else is here. Noticing sensations, the quality of your breath. And whatever memories or dreams, thoughts and emotions you might have woken up with and come to the mat with. And there might be something you individually would like to focus on as an intention for your practice. What is it you have come to the mat with a need for? To take into your day, to take into your week. And we're going to come to the top of a full breath in. Pause, and then let it go with your mouth open. Continue like this. I'm taking one more. And gradually taking your arms out wide, your palms could be up, they could be down. Your feet are on the floor. As you very slowly begin to take your knees to the left, as your eyes come to the right, very gentle rotation, quite fluid, quite juicy. You might pause here and then slowly come back with your head, with your knees to the top. And then go the other way. And take a few moments to really leisurely feel into this twist, pausing when you want to and moving when you want to. Allowing the body to gently come to life, to feel the day, to breathe itself through this gentle rotation of the spine. And then eventually coming back to a still point. And your arms could be by your sides. You could place your hands on your hips. As we begin to spill the pelvis forwards, there's a lightness in the feet, a little tunnel under your lower back. Then begin to draw the pelvis back, pressing into your feet and really flattening your back onto the floor. Almost lifting, but not quite. And continue in your own time. You might like to breathe in as you spill the pelvis forwards. You might like to breathe out as you rock it back. And just a couple more rounds. And then come to a moment's stillness. Take your hands onto your belly. We're going to take a few intentionally deeper breaths. And as you breathe in, really feel to the front, right to the pelvic floor, the two sides and the back. So you feel the whole band of your abdomen inflate with the inhale. It's quite strong. And as you exhale, feel the contracting of all the muscles of your abdomen and the diaphragm, pelvic floor. Push the air out of your lungs. And continue like this with a strong, conscious abdominal breath. Making it intentionally much more muscular than you normally would. You feel quite a squeeze, like a bellows squeezing at the end of the exhale. I can barely talk. And we're bringing our awareness with this breath to our subtle but also our muscular core. These muscles that are involved in breathing, muscles that are involved in allowing us to stand, to walk, to maintain our stability in life. This is a class very much in tune with how we become stable, what that means at several layers, not only physically. What might your physical stability become a metaphor for you? And taking one more of those conscious, strong abdominal breaths, really squeezing out the breath. Before you let go, you could take your hands wherever you want, maybe in cactus arms. And I'd like you to keep your pelvis completely stable now, completely still, as you begin to come to the tip of your right big toe, peeling the heel up, and then allowing the foot to lift off the floor, stable, the pelvis remains stable. And then you release first the big toe, and then allow the whole of your foot to find the floor. And continue with the right side only. Soften the face. So if you keep your pelvis entirely still, you're able to isolate various muscles that are involved in allowing you to lift this leg, however tiny the lift might be. And then rest the right foot down. And we'll do that with the left, still very stable. Not coming high. Breathe. Making this the last one. As you place both of your feet firmly down. To put the light on. And then please bring your legs up so they're at right angles. Your thighs are vertical, your shins are parallel with the floor. This is a bit stronger. Take a moment to feel what happens with your abdominal muscles, all the way back down to the spine. You need this support to keep your back stable, to keep your legs lifted. And then from here, with that stability, begin to dip the right big toe to the floor. And up again. And this time we'll alternate between left and right. Keeping really relaxed in the jaw and the throat. And notice where the effort is happening. And you might like to stay where you are, or you might like to start reaching a little bit further towards the end of your mat with your foot. But with control. When we work the subtle core at the same time as the muscular core, we're coming into a sense of the core of ourselves. And that's going to mean so many different things to different people. Coming into a sense of the place from which you act in the world, both to yourself and in relation to the external world. What is the quality of that place? And then please bring your knees in, give yourself a little hug, little rock. Don't want any strain in the lower back. Then we bring our legs back to that same position, but we bring our arms to vertical. So you can really feel your upper arm bones sinking back into the shoulders. You could lift and drop them a few times. And then as you inhale, release your right arm to the floor behind you. And exhale, lift. Do that a few times. You can do any breathing rhythm actually. I just found I wanted to inhale to drop and exhale to lift. Slowly and consciously feeling into the shoulder and the ribs. And then begin with the other arm. Breathe. And if at any time this feels like there's a strain on the lower back, it's too much effort for your abdomen to keep your legs where they are, then you draw your knees in towards you and then you start again. Bringing your arms to stable, your fingers pointing towards the ceiling. This time, as you take the right arm back, you're going to lengthen the left leg, pushing through the heel. So we're going opposite, diagonal. And then draw the arm up, bend the knee in. And continue with this diagonal, right arm, left leg, a few times. And again, I suggest that you find the breath that works for you. Let's do one more. And then we change sides. Take a moment to stabilize. And then begin to take the left arm back as you push through the right leg and heel. Slow, considered, conscious movement. Breathe. And doing one more. And then I feel I need to bring my knees in towards me. I don't know about you. Have a little roll around, maybe circle the knees to soothe out the lower back. Got one more variation before we come up. So we bring our legs back to those right angles. And I'd like you to take your left hand and really push it into the top of the thigh. When I say the top, I don't mean towards the hip, I mean towards the knee. So you're really pushing, it's quite a lot of force as you push into the knee and the leg, and the leg pushes back into the hand. And then lift the right arm to vertical. So as you push your left hand and leg together, you're going to take your right arm back and you're going to extend through the right leg. So it's the same side this time. Feel the full length and then come back in again. And please do 3 more. For me, it makes sense to breathe in to lengthen and to breathe out to contract. And then change sides. Consciously lengthening the whole of the left side of the body and then drawing it back in again. That's lovely, Gila. Stable, considered. Beautiful. And then when you finish, bring your knees in, have a little rock, a little circle. Before you place both feet on the floor and come to simply rest and feel the effects of that core awakening practice on the back. Take a few lovely breaths here. I do find it quite fascinating in a way, the inseparability between what is muscular effort, and you can probably feel the effects of it now, and a deeper, maybe even spiritual sense of presence, of stability, a core from where we express ourselves in the world. Of course, our bigger nature, if you like, is manifest through our physical body, and yet we are more than our physical bodies. Okay, please bring your knees in towards you and take your fingers behind your knees. And we're going to rock up to sitting. You could rock to the side, or you could roll up and down the spine a few times. Have a little bit of a, almost coming into a backward roll. Just to massage up and down the spine. Before you come to a cross-legged position, with your hands firmly placed on your knees, we're going to bring what we've maybe woken up a little bit on the back in terms of our core into some asana. So we're going to start by tilting the pelvis forwards, allowing the pelvis and the belly to spill, the chest to open. And then as you exhale, you intentionally draw, you suck the front body into the back body. Lift the pelvic floor, push out through the back of the ribs, and you can pull on your knees. And then you continue to rock. And it may be that this is enough for you, this opening and then this contracting, but next time maybe you contract, you'd like to lift your legs up into half Navasana, my ankles are crossed. You can change the cross of the ankle and come down. So we open and then we contract and stabilize. You might like to continue with that version, or next time you come into your Navasana, you might like to uncross your ankles, really spread your fingers and your toes. And you might like to keep moving like this, or you might like to stay with me in a half Navasana for 5 breaths, holding it here. Trying to remain soft in the shoulders, soft in the face. You might feel the side waist drawing back, the navel to the spine, and this tug up from the pelvic floor. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, gently rock forwards again. And take a couple of these rocking inhales and exhales. And you can either come back to that half Navasana, or you might like to have a go, this isn't so gentle, of course, into a full Navasana, 5 breaths. Really root down through the sitting bones. Spread your fingers and your toes. Breathe. One more full breath in. And then as you exhale, gently rock forwards. Well done. So when we had the class on Thursday, I did say that we then had a very, very gentle Feldenkrais type class. And that this week and next week, we were moving into a little bit more core stability and strength. So please bring yourself onto your knees. And take some nice little circles with your hips here, your bottom, just staring around in one direction. And then in the other direction. Lovely. And then please come to sitting on your heels, spine upright. And just take a moment to feel the length of the whole of the upper body. Then we take our arms out to parallel with the floor and make fists. So you can take your thumbs across your palms, wrap your fingers around the thumbs. And I'd like you to turn your hands towards the floor. So you have a nice sense of opening over the front of the wrist. And then you can roll your shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades down the spine. Do a few of these, lifting the shoulder blades and then retracting them down the spine. It's like you're stirring. You should be able to isolate quite a range of movement of your shoulder blades as you lift and drop. And then we do the same thing, but we turn our palms out and push the heels of our hands forwards. Spread the fingers so we're stable, we're fresh, and then begin that lifting and sliding of the shoulder blades. Lovely. And then release your arms. You're going to take one arm, let's start with the left arm out to the left. And then you take your head towards the right. So it's like someone's pulling your left hand and arm as you keep tilting to the right, and you'll feel the left side of the neck. You might want to move your head a little to find that sweet spot and breathe here. And then gently change sides. Out with the right arm, really spread the fingers and take your head to the left. Breathe. And then release. And then interlacing your hands and bringing them to the chest. Inhale. And as you exhale, push your hands away. And then inhale, lift your hands up to the ceiling. And I'd like you to really push up. So if you push the hands up, but you're lifting from the back of the ribs. lifting from the back of the ribs, and from there, root down through your sitting bones and feel the length of your whole of your torso, side body, back and front, but lifting from the back of the ribs, and breathe here. And if it's difficult for you to sit on your heels, you could kneel high, or you could do this standing. Breathe. Keep lifting from the back of the ribs. Inhale, and then exhale, release. Fantastic. And just take a breath here, feel the upper body now. And then please come onto your forearms with your knees underneath your hips, elbows underneath your shoulders. And your attention is still at the back of the ribs where the shoulder blades meet, or if you wear a bra, where your bra strap probably crosses. And from here, you're going to dip in between the shoulder blades. Just notice if your chin comes forwards, if your belly dips, and then push that place at the back of the ribs up towards the ceiling. And you probably find that you're looking in between your legs as you do that. And then continue this dipping between the shoulders and this lifting up. And what I'm imagining or expecting you to notice is that as you push the back of your ribs towards the ceiling, there's a core engagement, pelvic floor, all the layers of muscles in your abdomen drawing towards the spine. And then they release as you dip down. Okay, let's become still in the ribs and the shoulder blades and begin to articulate that movement from the pelvis. So allow your pelvis to spill forwards, your belly will drop, and then draw the pelvis back, the tailbone back. Your chin will come into your chest. Doing cat-cow in this way on the forearms is a much more restricted version, but I quite like it. I like the attention it brings. Fantastic. Making that your last one as you really keep that stability through your arms and lengthen out through the right leg, curling your toes under. Feel the stability. We're going to try and keep the pelvis level as you then straighten out the left leg. So it's a forearm plank, but we're going to gently move in and out of it. Drop one knee, then the other. Lengthen. Pause in your forearm plank. And so on. Keep going. Now, it might be that you're absolutely at the limit of your effort, or it might be that you're quite happy to swivel into a side forearm plank, holding the whole of the weight of your body on one forearm. And you might stay here for a few breaths, or you might keep moving, trying to keep the pelvis stable rather than lifting or dropping it. Breathing. And then coming back to both forearms on the floor, dropping your knees. And taking a moment in child's pose. Noticing what you feel in the body. Wonderful. And then please come back onto your forearms. And your hands could be wherever they like. You could even interlace your hands. You could have them facing up or down. And then draw your knees a little bit closer in towards your elbows and curl your toes under. Taking your weight back towards your heels. When you're ready, begin to lift your knees off the floor and slowly unfold into your dolphin. And then you come back down again. And you keep going. Neck and head are relaxed, looking through the legs. And of course, if you want to, you could stay in your dolphin for a few breaths. Breathe. And then gently dropping your knees. And simply coming to sit on your heels. Noticing the effects of the forearm planks and the dolphins because they're strong. But they are quite brightening. Very stabilizing. Lovely. Then please bring your forearms back down again. We're going to press into our forearms and the tops of our feet to lift the knees up for 5 counts. Notice where you feel the effort. One more breath in and then release the knees. Come up onto your hands, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, push the back of your ribs up towards the ceiling and stay here for a few breaths. Wonderful. And flattening your spine. And we do that same lifting of the knees, but now we press into our hands rather than our forearms. And your feet, press into your feet as you lift your knees and hold. Your knees are only about 5 centimeters off the floor. Take a full breath in. Beautiful. Exhale, drop your knees and then come to sitting back as you roll your shoulders, possibly circling into your wrists. 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the opposite direction. Wonderful. And then bringing your hands forwards, curling your toes under, taking your weight back towards your heels and unfolding into a downward dog. And take 5 breaths, just enjoying now this full expression of Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Whole of the length of your torso, the stability of your abdomen now. We're going to come to plank again. You have the choice of dropping your knees, of course, and coming in like we did before, one leg at a time. Or you might like to roll forwards, shoulders over your wrists. And hold here, pushing the heels of your hands down, pushing through your heels of your feet, and feeling the front of your body stable, holding you here. Take a full breath in, and then exhale, drop your knees and roll all the way down. And please have your arms down by your sides with your head resting on the floor. And I'd like you to make fists with your hands. And you're going to really press into your feet. You're going to charge up the muscles of your legs, your buttocks, pressing your pubic floor down, your pubic bone down. And from there, begin to peel up the chest, and the arms will come out by your sides. And I want you to stir the hands out and then in, and feel the movement in your shoulder blades, whole of the back of the body working here. Breathe. Enlivening the back of the body. Turning the wrists and the hands out and then in again. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly come down, release the wrists, take a breath here. And then bring your hands closer to your ribs, maybe your fingers are pointing towards your shoulders. But I'd like you to still charge up from the feet, the calf muscles, the thighs, the buttocks, drawing all the way into the abdomen. And use this strength to peel yourself up. I'm not even pressing into my hands. Feel the stability, feel the strength here. And it may be, if you want to, you could then push into your hands to come up higher. But with all that support, all that strength of the lower body and the lower back, abdomen holding you here. Take a full breath in and then breathe out. Make a pillow for your forehead. Let your legs rock out, your heels rock out. And breathe into the front of the body. Excuse me. And when you're ready, bringing your hands by your ribs, curling your toes under, bringing yourself back your way into a downward dog. Breathe the downward dog. And then looking towards your hands, walk your feet and your hands together. We end up in a Uttanasana, forward fold, dangling. So our stability so far has really been from the core. We've been stabilizing around the shoulders. But now let's really press into the feet, spread the toes. And from here, as you breathe in, straighten your legs, bring your chest forwards. And breathe out, stay here. Feel the strength of your abdomen, the strength of your legs, the shoulder blades on the back. Take another breath in and then breathe out, fold. You can bend your knees a little. Let's do that again. Inhale, chest comes forwards, very conscious. Exhale, stay here. Legs are working. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold. And then pressing into your feet, fully conscious now. Bring your palms together. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, stay here. And on the next breath in, really feel through your feet as you reach for the sky. And on the exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment to feel yourself standing. And have a little look at your feet and separate your toes as much as possible. And maybe even lift all of your toes except the little toe and begin to place your toes down onto the floor. And then keep your big toe pressed down as you lift the other toes up. Individually, if you can, taking each toe down as you spread them, just to give your feet a little bit of attention. You could roll onto the ball of the right foot, lifting the heel, and then slowly, consciously spread the whole of the sole of the foot back down. And with the left, you could roll very gently from side to side, spreading your feet as you do so. Fabulous. And take a moment to really feel the aliveness of the soles of your feet in relation to what they're connecting with. Keep doing that through the left foot as you come to the tip of your right big toe. You can have your arms wherever you want them to be. And then you can lift up the right leg. But we're going to move around freely, exploring the space around you with the right leg and behind. Breathing. It can be really interesting, but also quite difficult to look to the ceiling and then look to the floor. I've needed to put my foot down. Keep going. I'm clearly not feeling very stable. Then change sides. Change sides, really consciously connect with the right foot, come to the left big toe. Breathe. You might, of course, find that you're more stable on one side than the other. Try looking at the ceiling. Try looking at the floor. Breathing all the time. And then eventually floating down that left foot, taking a moment to feel how simple it is, how great it is to stand on both feet. And then we play around with our balancing a little bit. So I'll give you a few suggestions that you might find you do it your way. I'm going to begin by stabilizing through the left foot. So I lift my right knee. As I begin to take my leg behind me, I try and touch the floor with my hands. But then this is a moving practice, so I try and come back again. And keep going, maybe lift up the arms, lift up the knee. Remember all the stability we've been developing. Draw on it now as you also increase it. Not easy. Change sides when you're ready. Breathing. Then as next time you come all the way up, floating the left foot down. Oh, take a moment to feel the body. You might want a little shake of your feet. And we'll do one more balance. This time hold your hands to your heart. Stabilize through the left foot. So you lift up the right knee again. And we come into warrior three. Slowly taking the torso forwards. The right leg behind you. Breathing here as you hold a moment. And then coming back up again. Maybe doing that 2 or 3 times and then changing sides. Breathing. And then finding both feet on the floor, taking them a little bit wider apart. And we'll just take a few breathing side bends here. Inhaling, floating up the left arm. Feel your feet now as you exhale and you slide down to the right. From that stability of your feet, inhale to lift up. Exhale, arms come down. Inhaling, lift up the right arm. Exhale. Feel your feet as you come down to the left. Inhale to the top. Exhale. I'm just doing one more to each side. And please join me sitting. With your feet on the floor and your hands behind your, actually you can take your hands over your knees. We will come down to rest in a moment. I just would like to do a very gentle flexing and extending of the spine in this position. So when you're ready, on the inhale, spill the belly, the pelvis forwards, the chest will open. And then on the exhale, scoop yourself back. It's quite nice to come down to sitting. Inhale, to spill forwards, exhale, to scoop back. Making this your last one. And then taking your fingers behind your knees. And we're going to just roll back a little bit and see if you can roll back up again. A little massage now to end up the physical practice. And you could either come into a meditation seat to finish or come down to lying. Make sure you're warm enough. And if you set yourself an intention for this practice, maybe bring it to the fore now as you allow yourself time to melt into all the sensations, the feelings, the emotions that are present. Feeling the earth beneath you, fully stable, fully able. And of course, you can stay resting for as long as you like. And when you're ready to come out, beginning to take a few slightly deeper breaths. Feeling the rise and fall of your abdomen with the breath. And introducing any gentle movements of your choice to gradually bring yourself back into the day, to move on with your day. Maybe roll over to one side, maybe come to join me sitting for a moment. And when you do come to sitting, just taking a moment to take stock. There was quite a lot of strengthening involved in that practice, and you might have found yourself at ease in that, or you might have encountered a few limits. Your balance might have been as you wanted it to be, or you might have been frustrated. Can you embrace the whole of the practice here in your body memory? And take a full breath into the heart. And breathing out, bowing your head. When you're ready to breathe in, lifting your head gently. Opening your eyes into the morning. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me.